So I'm here at the moment to give you my opinion or review on this log splitter that I bought. It's a benchmark 25 ton sold by Home Hardware here in Canada. Now I've never owned a log splitter of this type in my life before, so some might think, well, I'm the wrong person to give a review, somebody with no experience, but on the other hand, maybe it's exactly the right person who should be giving a review. I've got, I've been working and handling with wood for 45 years, but I've been a hand tools, axe, wedge, and sledge guy for all that time. Apart from my minor discretion on that trail of the Ukrainian wood splitter that was more trouble than it was really worth. I bought this thing on Saturday around noon. It's now 20 to 6 on Wednesday. And I'm about to put the hydraulic oil in and the engine oil and give it its first test. I really don't know why there's two dipsticks. Give it some throttle, I guess. Get this thing going. now what I want to demonstrate is the tip-up feature, which is one of the main reasons why I bought this particular kind of splitter. Because I got some big blocks, and why lift them up and set them on a deck when you can just roll them in on the ground? So let's have a look at that. Not sure what you're supposed to do with it when it's on level, but stick a couple blocks of wood under here. Well, there's no method to lock it in place. I'm assuming you don't have to. Okay, so bit of finesse. Engine running. So these are a couple of pretty big blocks. 19, 17, and 19. And this one measures 21 and 20. These are the kind of blocks why you buy a wood splitter in the first place. And the reason why I bought this tip-up one. Looks like I need to extract my knife a little bit more. Pull the knife up, roll that thing into position, and give her a cut. Try this from a different angle. We'll just leave that there. See what happens. too. There was a split line there, and I took advantage of that. Why not? Okay, so it is the following day. Yesterday I ran this thing on a Wednesday. Today is the following Thursday, the next day. So if you were watching carefully in my video, you would notice that this control is weird. It's backwards. You push it this way and the ram goes out. You pull it this way and the ram comes back. So in talking to people who have used these kind of things before, I've been informed that these hoses are on backwards. So I called Home Hardware where I bought it, and the guy confirmed, yeah, it's wrong, it shouldn't be that way, they're backwards. So he says I need to switch the hoses. Now the easy thing it would be to switch it here and here. But that little hose, if it reaches there, it's going to barely reach there. And this big hose, if I put it on there, it's going to frickin' practically drag on the ground. The problem, so really, I need to be disconnecting them down here. And it doesn't look like it's designed to be taken apart there very easily, but I'm going to give it a try. First I'm going to loosen it here, and then I'm going to try and take it apart down there. Nuts! I mean, I might even have to take it completely off here so that I can turn the whole hose around and get it off of this fitting down at the bottom. Anyway, let's see, have a go at this. This hose was here, and it definitely will fit here. But the problem is I moved that hose to the bottom, and look how low it hangs to the ground. So if you ever were moving this thing around, that's just wrong. So I've got to move the entire hose. So I've loosened it at the bottom, and we'll take that hose completely off. So I'm getting to be a bit of a pain in the sea arc. Alright, let's get that up there. Well, there's some oil for you. Alright. See if everything works in the right direction now, as it should. No leaks. Hold it to pull it forward, push it back, and it pops itself off. That's the way it should have been, but I didn't know that. But so this is what I have to say about the splitter. I used it an hour last night when I got home before supper, and then I used it for an hour and a bit maybe after supper. And I don't know how many blocks I split up, but I split up 4 big ones, and I split up another half a dozen medium-sized ones. So this is that's what my opinion is based on. So first, let's go over the positives. The positives are it's very solid. It's very solid. It's well built. I can't complain about that. I really like the way it's made. I like the fact that it's on wheels. Once I got the engine running, so far it started first time on every pull ever since. It's quite well balanced. I have no trouble moving it around manually. I can pick it up by the tongue, no problem. I move it. Seems to have lots of power, and you know, it grunts and groans its way through the wood, but I think it's got enough horsepower to split any and all wood that I'm going to tackle. The other thing I really like about it is the fact that it has the tip feature. I really like the tip feature. I really like the fact that it goes vertical like that, so that you can roll in big logs. Now, I don't necessarily cut big logs all the time, but the whole reason for having a wood splitter like this is so that you can cut big logs. And it will open me up to, you know, I want to keep burning wood for some time to come. And this will allow me to tackle, I won't be, you know, I won't be hesitant to, if I can get my hands on a couple of big logs that somebody else doesn't want to deal with. I got no problem bucking them up, bringing them here, and splitting them with this machine. So that's definitely a positive. The other thing, going back to the fact that it's solid and well built, I said this thing is solid, it's well built. I actually, as soon as I got it, I was thinking, you know, this thing's pretty good. I mean, I don't think I'd have any reservations about actually renting this thing to somebody. I mean, I'm probably only going to use this thing, you know, 5 or 10 times in a year myself. And I see that, you know, they rent for anywhere from $60 a day, $70 a day to, you know, over $100 for a weekend. It's going to pay for itself just in the fact that, you know, I'm going to be burning wood, and my propane bill is over $300 a month. 387, I think, was the highest one this winter, in the dead of winter. So if I can burn more wood because I've got a splitter to help me, then that's all good. Okay, so those are the positives. Now they're negatives. There are negatives. There are some things I don't like about the splitter. And basically speaking, they all have to do with ergonomics. The other day when I was running it, I couldn't understand why I had to push this lever this way to make the piston go that way and pull it this way to make it go that way. But as you may have seen already, that's because whoever put this thing together, put it together backwards. It doesn't say anything about the quality of the equipment itself, but it does say something about the quality control at the company and the idiot who put it together. And you know, I've never ran one of these wood splitters before, so I didn't actually know it was wrong. It didn't seem right to me, but I didn't know that it was wrong. But it was absolutely wrong, because it did two things. One, you should be pulling it this way to bring it forward, and you just have to hit it to go back, and then it self-retracts. And the way it was running was, I could hit it like that and it would go all the way forward. And that's just not safe and totally stupid. But I didn't know any better, but I got it straightened out with my co-workers at work who've used these before, and you saw me, I changed the hoses, and I've demonstrated it works in the right way now. But the biggest problem, my biggest complaint about this thing is I used this for 2 hours yesterday, and I got a sore back. I woke up with a sore back yesterday, or this morning. Why? Well, because this thing is, you know, it's built for people who are of average height, and I am not. I'm not a giant, but I'm 6'2". The average man is somewhere between 5'8" and 5'10". Let's call it 5'9". So I'm 5 inches taller than the average guy, which means if you take half of that height and put it in my legs and half in my body, it's at least 2.5 inches, you know, wrong height at my waist. So I'm constantly, I spend the whole day bending over, and you never really get your back straight running this thing. You're constantly bending over, hanging onto this, pushing on this thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some, when I'm running it horizontals, I think I'm going to run it up onto a couple of 2x6s or something, and lift the whole thing up about 3 or 4 inches off the ground, and I think that'll help me a lot. I mean, you could easily put bigger tires on here, but I mean, hell, I'd have to, you know, cough up another 200 bucks for that, and I don't want to do that. So that's really, from a machine perspective, that's the only real negative. Other than that, it's the other negative is that I kind of like splitting wood and with axes, and I'm not going to stop entirely. And one of the reasons is I'm about to show you and explain why. I'll try to get the ergonomics on this better and run it so that I don't get a sore back from it. So here we have a block of wood on a demo chopping block, and here's an axe. And on the motion for splitting a block of wood, you get one leg out, one back, and you bring the axe up and you arch your back through. So you are all the time straightening your back out or bending it beyond straight during the motion. You come down, but every time you lift the axe up, you're straightening your back, which is something you don't do with that wood splitter. So some of these blocks I'm going to continue to split with an axe, because splitting wood with an axe is actually good for you. I'm not, I'll have to say, I didn't buy this thing because I'm getting old and I need a break. That ain't the reason at all. The real reason I bought it is because I've got some huge blocks and I can split them, but I just knew it was going to be a lot of work. This is going to make it a lot easier. And the other thing is, yeah, I split wood for an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half on any given day that I split wood with an axe. But the endurance of this thing will allow me to work for 4 or 5 hours in a row if I want to. And I'm lucky I won't have a sore back after I fix the height. But I also shouldn't be as worn out as I am. I mean, I get tired. I swing an axe, I get tired, but it's a good tired, and I think it's actually good for me physically. And like I say, I didn't buy in this because I'm getting old. I'm just buying it because I thought I needed it. And I'm also a firm believer in the phrase. It's not mine, but I'll coin the phrase or use the phrase. You don't stop doing things because you get old. You get old because you stop doing things. So I don't want to stop using my axe. I want to keep swinging the axe because it's good for me. But I will definitely make use of that splitter. Anyway, if you like these kinds of videos and want to see more of them, hit the like button and subscribe, and see you on the next one.